up to draft a QB in the first round. The former MVP threw for 4 touchdowns against the Vikings in Week 1, finishing with a QBR of 91. It's not really all that unusual for him, though. It was his 16th career game with at least 4 touchdown passes and 300 passing yards. That's tied with Dan Marino for the 4th most in NFL history. Randy, you've been watching this guy for a while. In Week 1, what stood out to you?
I just think that the ways that they're getting him the ball, the way they're using him in the offense, the way you should use a number one. Matt, got a question for you. How many routes are in a route tree?
There's 10 routes.
Teddy Bruschi, could you cover a wide receiver if he had multiple routes, all 10 of those routes in a route tree?
Very difficult.
Well, the chemistry, Sam, between Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams is like no other. Y'all check this tape out right here. Last week, he had 17 targets, 14 receptions. He had 9 different routes that he was able to run in the route tree. As you can see the drag here. Here, the same split. On top of the numbers here, he runs a dig here. That's the second play. Last but not least, this is the third route, deep fake route. Now he's at the bottom of the number. You heard me at the beginning of this talking about 9 different routes, coach, from the route tree that he was able to run. You hear me talk each and every week about number one wide receivers, being able to move the wide receiver around in the defense for the defense to be able to find him. You just can't let them just home in on your number one wide receiver. So today, going against the Detroit Lions, they signed the 3rd overall pick out of Ohio State, Jeff Okudah. This is his first game, missed last week with an injury, but you're telling me the 3rd overall pick, a rookie, coming in with the chemistry that I just showed you between Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, you're relying on a rookie to come and stop this chemistry? I look for a big day coming out of Green Bay between Rodgers and Davante Adams.
2 of the words you just said is what they'll be saying in the meeting room of the Lions all week. Find it. Where is he? Davante Adams, because there will be different plans, Moss, in terms of if he's number 1, if he's 2, if he shifts in motion.
He's getting the ball anyway, bro.
Various type of ways. They will have different ways to do it. Can they communicate that well? If he is all over the place, like you're saying, that's tough communication on a defensive secondary.
Thank goodness they don't have to worry about their first-round pick anywhere, because he's probably not even active. I'm still mad at you, Green Bay. I don't care what you say. I'm mad at you. I love Mort. Mort says that Rodgers loves his receivers. I believe that. But they still could have made their team better. Well, here's what we saw. What everybody knows. They still have Aaron Rodgers, and he looked like Aaron Rodgers. And so that's exciting. If you're a Packer fan, you know you're going to be the favorites to win your division. But are you going to win a Super Bowl? I don't know, man. I got 2 of my boys are coaching that defense. They could have used the first-round pick.
You know what's interesting? We talked all offseason, Week 1, about the chip on Aaron Rodgers' shoulder, right? You know, they drafted everyone's saying, oh, they should have drafted a wide receiver. They should have drafted a wide receiver. I just wonder if Davante heard that also. You know, he's a guy who doesn't have a big ego. He's known for running precise routes, but he's human. And I wonder if he's sitting there like the whole world is saying they need a receiver, they need a receiver. He's like, all right, we don't need a receiver, okay? I'm the guy. I'll step up. I'll be that number 1 receiver. I don't care if you're doubling me. Like, I'm going to be the guy. And that's what he did Week 1. I'm curious to see if he can do it again Week 2.
Didn't you just hear Mort talking about Scantling and how much Aaron Rodgers believes in him? I still don't think that's enough. When you look at the offense, we just talked last week about the weapons the NFC just got with Tom Brady going to Tampa. The NFC is stacked offensively with weapons. You're telling me that Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers is good enough?
Well, this is what I would say as a quarterback. This is 7 years now. 7 years that Davante's been with Aaron Rodgers. That continuity as a QB, when you've got your guy, like you've been through fire after fire after fire with that one guy, when it's 3rd down, it's 4th down, it's red zone, things happen fast. I got a chemistry with that guy. Yes. That was the word we heard earlier, chemistry. Yeah. That chemistry, 7 years of chemistry, that counts for something. I don't care how fast you are, how big you are. Chemistry's hard to replace.
And 17 targets in one game. And what you're saying is, to us, we take away those 17 targets, you got to go somewhere else. And they won't feel it, Rex. Everything's great right now. You know what? Multiple touchdown passes, 17 targets to my boy. I'm hooking him up and all that stuff. When you get an injury, okay, along the receiving court, and it happens, that little hammy or that little calf or something like that, so your depth now. Who else is coming in, all right? Now, where am I going and all of that? All of a sudden, it's like, man, wish we had another one. And that's when you look to this organization and see, oh, Jordan Love can't play receiver.
Put him out there anyway.
Yeah.
Well, look, we haven't even really mentioned the Lions, the team they're playing today. And a lot of people say, oh, the Lions aren't any good. We saw same old from them last week, blowing a lead and ended up losing to the Bears. But if you look at the 2 games that the Lions played the Packers last year, both of those games were decided on the final play of the game. And yes, you guessed it, the Lions lost because they seem to have, I know there's something about getting to the end of the game.
They're doing all the right things. They're saying all the right things, but you just can't let that one play turn into a 2-game or 3-game losing streak, because the whole move on thing, and then I'll make the play next time. Stafford said, I'm going to throw it to him 1,000 out of 1,000 more times. Still, you got to have that result.
Yeah.
The finishing off, the bouncing back, the moving on by getting a victory and then feeling good about it.
What do they say? Winning's contagious, Rex?
And so is losing.
Not that you would know. Not that you would know. Look, the Packers' success in week 1 shouldn't really be all that much of a surprise, because if you look at last year, this is the same team that was in the NFC Championship against the 49ers. That obviously didn't go well for them, but frankly, things aren't going well right now for the Niners either. After